I am the founder of Xevio, a co-founder actually, and the CEO. We run, amongst other things, native ads. And I'm not going to bore you with a ton of introduction stuff, but we have two cases that generated over 100 million. One of them actually substantially more than 100 million on native, including networks like Taboola. And today I'd like to show you how that's possible and how this year we're going to top that. Last year we cracked 100 million in ad spend. This year we're gunning for 250 million. Don't think we're going to reach it, but we're going to get damn close. A couple of years ago, there was this craze of developing systems and AIs and tools that would layer on top of the traffic source. I can tell you with confidence that's not the right approach to doing native media buying in 2025. So, what's working in 2025? E-commerce. 9 out of 10 projects that are above 10K a day, new projects over the last 6 months, are e-commerce projects. They're projects that are around the world. Europe and the US is our main focus, but I see people succeeding everywhere. Lead gen works well, but not more than normal, I'd say. There's a limit to lead gen. You see the usual things working. Medicare, auto insurance was super hot last year. It's going to be super hot in Q1 this year, but it's not really 10xing in size. Lead gen is. Search arbitrage, I mean, quick show of hands here. Who runs search arbitrage in this room? Or who ran? Okay, yeah, it was brutal. It sucked. The last months weren't great. The announcement that March 19th is essentially the beginning of the end of AFD, not so great. But there is one thing that is a dream. I truly believe that RSOC on native is what RSOC was built for. RSOC is essentially content, reverse search on content. Native is a content discovery platform. They're a match made in heaven, and once somebody cracks this, we're all going to have a lot of fun with RSOC. At the time, right now, search arb, AFD, on native, not so hot. So, whenever we launch a native product, we look at 4 steps. There's the ad, easy. You upload the ad, a headline, description, CTA, and an image. Sometimes a video, sometimes a GIF. You have a landing page or a series of landing pages that you're split testing. You have an offer page where you want to collect leads or purchase or sell something. And then there's the monetization. It could be the checkout page. It could also be the post-lead monetization of whatever you're sending to. For e-commerce, the hard part of selling the product is on us marketers. We need to sell the product. People need to put their credit card information into the checkout page. If they don't do that, none of us get paid. So the burden of selling is on our end. It makes it harder, but much more scalable when it works. For lead gen, the hardest part isn't on the marketer's end. It's very easy to collect data. The question is the data worth anything? So a lot of people are like, my payout is great on this product or this lead form, but not so great there. It has to do with the lead monetization and the quality of the leads that you generate. So something to keep in mind when you're running lead gen. Oftentimes, you might not be the problem. So how do we generate over 300 million revenue with predominantly native ads last year? And how do we intend to at least double or triple that in terms of ad spend this year? We had several 9-figure cases. We had a case from last month. This case was it started relatively small. It was a beauty brand. It was not a VSL product, so it didn't have like a 30, 40-minute VSL. They were running standard content advertorials, 500 to 600 words. They were a brand, so they were not drop shipping. You can find them in stores if you really look hard. They're relatively small. And they have about 30% recurring purchases. So everybody that buys, about a third buys again. They're running in DACH, so Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. Again, we always test landing pages, we test offer pages, we iterate and scale. Once we hit performance, we were semi-profitable when we started scaling, but it wasn't really satisfying. I thought there's something wrong with conversion rates. So my team started to dig. And what we did was what a lot of people don't do, including myself, by the way, up until recently, really dig into conversion rate. What is stopping people from buying? What is wrong with the product page? What is wrong with the pricing? What is wrong with the bundles? What is wrong with the reason my conversion rate is low? Shopify is great, and I tell everybody, if you're running Shopify, good for you, you're not doing a lot wrong, but the product pages aren't amazing. So what we did, and what I'll show you the results of this in a second, blew me away. We took the Shopify offer page and we replaced it with an offer page that we built in Webflow, HTML, that linked directly to the Shopify checkout. So essentially, we replaced the standard pages that everybody here knows and loves with a page that we built. The results are crazy. Let me first show you the original funnel. It's on the left, where you had an anti-aging cream. You guys know these type of pages. You've all seen them if you run e-commerce. This is nothing new. On the right, we took a new page, we built it, we shortened it, we had changed elements in it. The results are a whopping... I don't have the results here. It's next. I'm so sorry. I'll show you them in a second. What we did here, we put a ton of trust elements on the page. We had literally everything we could find. Seen on, trust labels, whatnot. I'll show you the results in a second. I'm sorry for teasing you there. We had a lot of urgency. There is a limit to what you can do here. You can't say there's 1 unit remaining, buy it in the next 5 seconds or someone else is going to buy it. Taboola doesn't like that and they'll ban you. But you can say there's limited stock. This deal is going to run out because, hey, maybe one day you change it. That's not a lie. You can't say when it'll run out unless it actually runs out today. Don't say that. But you can play around with this a lot. There are sliders. We had testimonials before and after, which is something that for a long time wasn't allowed on native, and specifically Taboola is allowed, if it's realistic and not completely fake, on the content pages. So on the advertorials, put before and after pictures. For God's sake, again, not before and after pictures that look like they were completely fake, made by AI, but real before and after pages are completely and totally okay. Bundles at the end. We had different products. At the end, there was essentially one bundle page. At the very bottom of the page, it looked exactly like this. And then we hosted everything on the domain of our landing pages. So not on the products shop domain, but on the landing page domain. In this case, Derma Wissen, which is essentially a blog site that we use for content for beauty products. The results, this time for real. 114% conversion rate increase, so more than 2x conversions by shifting away from Shopify. We scaled 100% week on week right now. AOV went up 61% because obviously people were like, shit, I need to buy 3. That's actually what happened. The most purchased product was the pack of 3 because the perceived value was the highest there. And our daily goal is to get this to 50K a day across all native channels, and we're doing a good job getting there. There are more people right now today killing on a native than ever, except that most people don't realize that. If you ask the vast majority of people in this hall, in this room today, how is native advertising performing for you, the general sentiment is mixed. And the reason for that is a lot of people don't understand where they're going wrong. The best practices right now for us, which are killing it, are animated and moving images. Out of the top 10 images in the US, or top 10 ad creatives in the US on Taboola last year, 6 of them were animated and moving GIFs. We use Runway, for example, to animate the top creative. Like, there's a million ways to use AI to create movement that is intriguing. Remember, the image on Taboola is a stop sign when people are scrolling the feed. It's not a way to sell as much as it's a way to get their attention. The headline of what you're saying, and I've said this a million times, is the reason people click on your ad. The best creatives are creatives that filter and stop the right people from scrolling. The best headlines are the headlines that get those right people to click. Each region is a little bit different. The US, for example, you need to have more realistic images. In Europe, you can have completely wild, colorful, random arrows, stuff. That works really well in Europe, and it'll completely fail in the US. Trust me, we've tried this. We've tried to take the best practices from Germany or France and apply them to the US, and we got completely owned. Nothing worked. The US and Europe are different, and sometimes even within Europe and within different niches, there will be different trends. There's a really cool tool, and this has been around for a while. I feel like nobody's using it. It's trends.taboola.com. You can go in, this is all automated in real time, and see what's working where. Sometimes these trends will change week on week, day on day. Take them with a grain of salt. Don't completely change your strategy because something's showing up here if it's working for you. But use this as a source of inspiration. It's so easy. Before you launch, I don't know, another Medicare campaign on Taboola in the US, to look at what's currently performing in that sector. It takes no effort. It's free. You don't have to register. Use it, for God's sake. I literally don't know anybody who uses this regularly except for my team. And max conversion is key. Right now, 95% of our campaigns are on max conversion, and the rest are on target CPA. It's a fact. I love media buying. I love being in the weeds, but that is not media buying today on native. You need to take a step back and trust the algorithm, and then do the creative work to give the algorithm what it needs to succeed.